Hello, I'll show you how to use this package called pygame render, and this is what I used for the examples that you just saw. So yeah, this package basically lets you use shaders with pygame, and it's really easy to use. I think this is the advantage of this package, that you don't need to know any OpenGL, anything like that. It's just really easy. Okay, so let's start by installing it. So I'm on Linux, so I can run this command pip install pygame render. So let's run that. And yeah, for you, if you have a different platform, it may be different to install, but yeah, here I'm installing 1.2.1 of pygame render. Cool, and it's saying I already have it because I already have it installed. Okay, so now that it's installed, let's take a look at some code. This is a pygame template. It's currently doing nothing. It imports pygame, it sets the screen size to this, and then in the game loop, we are ticking the clock at 60 FPS, we fill the screen with black color, we flip the screen, and we are checking finally the events if we quit, and if we quit, then we stop running. So yeah, if I run this, Python 3, we get a black screen. Okay, so yeah, we are going to be drawing shaders here. And we are going to be drawing this sprite right here. It's sprite.png, it's this king. And we are going to be drawing this with shader effects. So first, let's start by importing the engine. So we're going to say from pygame render, import render engine. And yeah, the render engine is going to be the object that is going to be rendering everything for us. So now let's create an engine. So engine equals render engine. It's asking for two arguments, the width of the screen and the height. So we can put the values that we gave to pygame here, and we can actually go ahead and remove this line, because yeah, the engine is going to do that for us, as well as some other OpenGL operations. Okay, so let's now load the sprite. So we can say sprite equals engine.load texture, and it's asking for a path. So I will say sprite.png. Yeah, that's the name of the file. Okay, and this is going to load the sprite, which is a text. This is a texture object. Okay, now we are going to have to replace this line. So instead of saying screen.fill, we're going to say engine.clear, and it does the same thing. It clears the screen. As you can see, it has three arguments: RGB and alpha, and it defaults to black 000. So I don't have to pass any arguments. It's going to be clearing with black by default. Okay, now let's draw the sprite on the screen. So I will say engine.render, and it's asking for a texture. So that's the sprite, and it's asking for a layer. The layer is the target where we want to draw the sprite. So for us, we want to draw it on the screen. So we are going to say engine.screen. But basically the engine lets you also draw things to other targets, and this is good for example, chaining different effects, where you have a chain of effects, where you draw it to maybe a layer, and then that layer you apply an effect, and then you draw that on the screen. So yeah, it lets you do that kind of thing. And then all of the other arguments are optional. So we have position, it defaults to 0, scale, it's 1, angle, flip, section lets you choose a subsection of the texture. So here, if we want to just draw a subsection, like let's say this rectangle right here, we can specify that as a section argument, and that's useful for animation sheets where we have the animation frames in one texture, so we can choose the current frame at each moment. Okay, here we can specify the position. Oh yeah, and I didn't cover the last argument, shader. This is going to be the shader that we want to apply to it. For now, let's not specify shader. If we don't specify it, it just draws the sprite as it is. So yeah, let's say the position is 100 and 100, and this should work already. We should be seeing the sprite. So yeah, it's right here. It's really tiny because the sprite is really tiny. It's like this. So let's also scale it up. So scale equals 10, for example. How is this? It's a bit small. Let's make it a bit bigger. Yeah, okay, this is good. Okay, so yeah, it's working. So now let's load a shader. So first, I want to talk about what a shader exactly is. So a shader lets you apply an effect to the sprite that you want to draw. And a shader is actually comprised of two programs, two shaders. We have a Vertex shader and a Fragment shader. And the Vertex shader applies an effect to each corner of each vertex, each corner of the object. So for us, we are drawing rectangles. The sprite is a rectangle. So the vertices are the corners of the rectangle. So we have 4 of them. Okay, yeah, and the Fragment shader, fragment means pixel. So it processes every pixel of the screen, one by one. So we can apply an effect to each one of the pixels. And yeah, this code currently does no effect. It just, I will put this code in the description of the video as well, so you can just copy it. But yeah, the Vertex shader just takes the position of the vertex and returns that, does nothing. Same for the coordinate of the pixel. And the Fragment shader takes the texture and takes the coordinate of the pixel, the fragment, and samples it. This function samples the color of that pixel, and it assigns it to this variable color. This is the color of the pixel on the screen, or on the target if you're using a different target. So we can make a change already. So we can say color.r, r is for red, plus equals 0.5. So we're going to make the texture a bit more red, to look red. And yeah, let's now load the shader and apply it. So it's very, very easy to do this. We can say shader or shader red, because it colors the thing red, equals engine.load shader from path. And now, yeah, it takes 2 arguments, the path of the vertex shader and the path of the fragment shader. So we can say vertex.glsl and fragment.glsl. So yeah, here, that's the name of the files. Yeah, it's GLSL because GLSL is the language of the program. This is not Python, as you can see. This is GLSL. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm passing the paths. And here at render, we can now say shader equals shader red, the shader that we just loaded. And this should be it. Yeah, it's this simple. So if we run this, yeah, it looks red. Cool. So yeah, this is very basic functionality, but I will show you now a very, very useful feature, which is right now it's very static. It does not change at all. But what if we want the effect to kind of change throughout time? For example, I want to implement, I want the red to blink, kind of to pulsate. So I have to change the intensity throughout time, right? I want to make it red at first, then normal, then red, normal. How do I do that? And here the problem would be that in the fragment shader, I cannot access the time directly. So instead, what I should use is something called uniforms. So uniforms, or uniform variables, are variables that I can send from the Python script to the shader. Yeah, so let's define a uniform. So yeah, we're going to send the time to the shader from the script. So let's define a uniform. We're going to say uniform float time, for example. And yeah, I created a uniform of type float. And as you can see, I didn't assign any value to it because the value is going to be sent from the script, as I said. Okay, and here I can now assign time to this. I will pass the time in milliseconds, so I should I should multiply this by a small number, maybe like this. And yeah, now let's send that value from the script. First, I should create a variable with that value, right? So I will say total time equals 0, and then let's increment total time by clock.get time. So clock.get time returns how many milliseconds elapsed from the previous frame to this frame. So if I add this to the total time, I'm counting the milliseconds. So yeah, let's send this value now. It's really easy. I can just do shader red, square brackets, time equals total time. So yeah, it's like a dictionary, kind of this notation. But yeah, I'm saying send the value of total time to this uniform. And this is it, I think. So here I'm not blinking. It's not. This is just going to be more and more red throughout time. Yeah, let's see this. Yeah, oh, it's really fast. Let's make it slower. Yeah, well, it's working. And if I wanted to blink, I can just I can use the sign function. So the sign returns a value between -1 and 1. So I would like it to be from 0 to 1, right? So I can just add 1 to it, and then I can divide it by 2. So 0.5, multiply it, and yeah, this should be blinking. It's really slow. Okay, this is too slow. Like this. It's too slow still. Oh wow, okay. Maybe this is good. Okay, yeah, this looks good. We can make it a bit less red, maybe. Still 525, and put 25 there. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, it looks like it's selected, or it has some effect. Alright, I hope that was useful, and if you're interested, make sure to check out the official repository. I will link it in the description of the video. And if you scroll down over here, you're going to find useful resources, for example, the feature walkthrough, which shows you many things. Yeah, for example, how to use layers and many other things. And yeah, there are many other useful things. For example, on the wiki, you can find the AP reference or frequently asked questions. And yeah, that was it. Bye.